Hiya, folks, and welcome back to Rotten Reelz Reviews Audio Review. We're at number 20. It's exciting. Yay! You know, in a world that allows no cells to hit the cutting floor, 95 minutes can be actually chopped down to 84, 72, and thus confusing most viewers of more than 8 alternative titles comes, well, a lot of pain mostly. And thankfully, because it's zombie related, boy, do I have a treat for you. So imagine what promises to be a Lucio Fulci movie, but then is later revealed to have been batted around like some poor defenseless mouth by a couple of psychotic cats with the name of Bruno Mattei and Claudio Fargasso. This is Zombie 3. Now, yes, I know I already reviewed Zombie 4, but this one was actually so bizarre and in its own light, entertaining. The most common title for this particular flick is Flesh Eaters 2. Our brilliant silver screen schlock establishes a terrorist attack on a chemical company. Armed assailants snag a potential bioweapon. Name of Death 1 for, I don't know, maybe a jihad. Who can tell? The demand to release their captive brothers in arms. Money. Hey, you know what? That part is never really focused on. With all the subtlety of a cheeseball 80s action film, a gunfight ensues and most of the terrorists are wiped out. One actually escapes in the jungle with a canister filled with some seriously nasty components. Would he notices the camera is the actual carrying case is damaged, as well as the canister has been leaking some strange fluid on him. My vote, ooze. So he should mutate into something funky, maybe. I don't know. And with the go around with the military versus scientists snarking at one another, the lead scientist known as Dr. Holder, God, I hope his first name is Richard. Robert Maris for Heroes for Hire, Dog Tags, Warriors of the Apocalypse, Vengeance Squad. I love that title, Vengeance Squad. American Commandos, Movie in Action, and Aliens from the Deep explains with a rather great length of exposition, what the virus could do, even the possibility of what it could do to the deceased. But our lead military head, General Morton, and his salt, Mike Monty from Thomas 1880, The Bloodsuckers Lead the Dance, Achun, The Desert Tigers, Probicio Erratico, Emmanuel 3, and Dog Tags scoffs at Holder and tells him to, quote, go back and play with his test tubes, everything is in hand. Yeah, the English dubbing was a little painful this time around. So no sooner do they find the outbreak and a couple of bodies, they proceed to burn them. And that, of course, sends Holder off, telling them that the virus can easily be made airborne and anything of those wind patterns can be affected. But enough of that. Let's cut to a camper filled with fun-filled teens / 20-somethings. They're up for anything as they drive by a Jeep with 3, quote, American soldiers, end quote, with long hair and beards. And frankly, looking as army as Crosby, Stills, and Nash. With an evacuation order, Morton's people are trying to get everyone who hasn't been bit to safety. Maybe they'll offer the zombies some salt as well. Yes, 2 salt jokes, yay! So it boils down to will Kenny Loggins and his doofus company be able to fend off the zombies? Is the chemicals really covering the island? What is to become of the population? Okay, so some interesting points on the flick now. Lucio Fulci was actually set to direct this film when he had a mild stroke. A few days rest, and he wanted to get back to work. So he cuts about another 70 minutes worth of footage, has a major stroke, and then has to leave due to his own health issues. Which, I think that's completely acceptable, and nobody would be razzing him about it. At least you'd hope. So editor and second unit director at the time, Bruno Mattei, oh yes, we're back with Bruno, with Hell the Living Dead, Rats, Night of Terror, Strike Commando, The Tomb, The Jail, The Women's Hell, was asked to set into some really big shoes. So between Mattei and now writer, unfortunately second unit director, Claudio Fargasso, managed to edit down and add an additional 40 minutes of the film. So there's about 3 English dubbed versions of this movie that have been re-released so many times now. It is difficult to nail down a definitive copy. Honestly, the only definitive copy there is actually 95 minutes long. The problem with that being is it's 95 minutes long and these storylines don't mesh. On one instance, you have the whole terrorist group cell that were contending with the potential bioweapons. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the variants of zombies. We have some that are dragging ass and, attacking people. We have some that are doing that cliche, I'm slumped to a side and you have to grip my shoulder and flip me over and see what's going on. Because people are stupid. And my personal favorite, zombies that just fall out of regions. There was one hiding up on a stairwell, some that were hiding up on top of what looked like to be a cabana, some underwater, some underground, some were hidden in haystacks. None of this shit was edited to a point where it made it a coherent story. I mean, we would cut back to scientist and his fellow scientists jotting down various equations and formulae. And Dr. Holder constantly just snapping at Morton. I'm getting to this point, I'm going, you know what, Morton? You need to channel some good old-fashioned gunplay at this point. Invoke your inner Captain Rhodes and just smoke the motherfucker. But, what can you do with that? So with the continuity of each director pushing whatever portion of script, it just gets confusing. On one end of the spectrum, it feels like Hell of the Living Dead, so you have slow, lumbering zombies. The next, we have a chainsaw-wielding kung fu zombie smashing the place up. But the funniest part is the birds are affected by the zombie plague. And I'm going, oh my god, you don't suppose this is where Resident Evil picked that up, do you? You borrowed something from Bruno Mattei? That's kind of funny in of itself. But again, that's all I got, folks. So you have any suggestions or you have any preferences, maybe some film that I haven't looked at yet, maybe something enjoyable. How about throw that my way? Yeah, that'd be crazy. You can hit me up in the comments section, or you can toss something over at Facebook's Rotten Reelz Reviews. Always a good spot.